We've obtained a new Jeffrey Epstein address book. One that no one has ever seen before.
Jeffrey Epstein got away with what he got away with because of who was in his address book.
What's interesting for us about this book is a new cast of characters who we didn't previously know had interactions with or did business with them.
Our first thought was to just do whatever we could to verify that it was real. We've obtained a copy of an address book that we believe belonged to Jeffrey Epstein, and your name and contact information are listed in the book.
Hello?
I'm a reporter for Insider. I'm just calling everybody who's in this address book who has not previously been publicly associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
We need to make sure it was...
Bro, when you call people, don't say that name. Like, what? I'm hanging up on you. I'm not on that list, but I'm saying if you call someone, and I'm stepping in their shoes, bro, someone calling talking about that fucker, bro, I'll be like, yeah, oh, that guy, well, hung up.
a real artifact that really represents.
Yeah, call these motherfuckers and be like, hey, bro, my friend had your number, just calling you to do business, blah, 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 see what they got to say, you know what I mean? And then keep going with the story. You know, figure out what gets to the bottom of it. You know, it's like, yeah, I got this book for Jeffrey.
And it's something about Jeffrey Epstein and his connections to people.
The story is not one that sounds exactly believable. Someone dropped Jeffrey Epstein's address book in the 90s and now belongs to some guy who lives on a farm in Vermont.
I'm very careful not to put my fingerprints on the book, not to put any...
Where'd my phone go? Oh, it's right here. I gotta charge it. Get the balls. Ball.
sort of DNA or hair or anything like that. My name is Christopher Halali. Where should I look? I currently live on my wife's farm. As a student of national security issues, imperialism, I was fascinated by the Jeffrey Epstein case. There are names that are highlighted, and I think one of the most notable highlighted names is former President Donald Trump.
My name is Denise Ondeko. Ta-da! And I believe I found the book sometime in the 90s. Walking along Fifth Avenue, and I just noticed a small black book on the sidewalk.
On the side? What? That fake ass story. What? You found a small black book on the sidewalk? Yeah, fucking right. Bro, what?
I believe I found the book sometime in the 90s. Walking along Fifth Avenue, and I just noticed a small black book on the
She's on. No, she's on the files.
sidewalk.
So you're pretty sure that it was somewhere between 54?
Yes, it could have been here or there.
We have spoken extensively with Denise, and we found her story to be credible.
I saw the book,
You thought credible my ass.
picked it up, glanced through it. Damn. It was filled with names like Kennedy, Rockefeller, Trump, etc. And it was like, whoa, this is bizarre. So I kept it for the New York City artifact that it was.
Did you know who Jeffrey Epstein was at the time?
No. When I rediscovered the book last year, it was like, holy it's Jeffrey Epstein.
A Manhattan billionaire
Bro, she lying her ass off. She had that shit in her back pocket.
arrested yesterday on federal sex trafficking charges.
Accusations from indecent exposure to inappropriate touching to rape.
I went to tips at New York Times. I sent something to Rachel Maddow. I just figured nobody was interested. Come the end of November, I really needed brakes for my car and I didn't have enough money. And I thought, what the hell? You know, you, Jeffrey Epstein, you paid for my brakes. So I put it on eBay.
It was right there for everybody to see. Most people would think it's a fake or a forgery. I took the risk.
I took the risk.
When I received the book in the mail, my heart was nearly jumping out of my chest. You know, I felt like Indiana Jones. It's a dark book. It's a book that I think has a lot of suffering behind it, a lot of pain.
More than a lot of suffering, a lot of fucking sacrifices and fucking evil
A lot
shit.
of evil, some would say. I felt that it was important for people to see who Epstein knew and what sort of network of power was behind him. Right now I'm packaging the book for forensic analysis and handing it off to a team of journalists. If it comes back and it's not authentic, it's a pretty awesome forgery, I have to say.
One of the moments in the public waking up to the magnitude of his crimes was the publication in 2015 of an address book belonging to Jeffrey Epstein. And what was stunning about it was it contained the names of Donald Trump and Mick Jagger, Prince Andrew.
Oh, we know all about Prince Andrew, huh? Touching her.
Bill Clinton. And it sort of woke people up to the fact that this was a guy who had access to the halls of power.
Our reporting also found about 220 new names that didn't appear in
Oh my god.
this other
video's
address
old,
book.
but still,
If
I've never
someone were
seen
to
anything
concoct
about
a
it.
fake book to trick journalists, they would start by taking those names from the other public little black book and putting them in this one. So we start by sort of correlating the names, and then we just started calling people in the book whose names have not been previously associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
Hello,
Hi, I'm trying to reach Elena Kayem.
this is she.
Hi, I'm calling for Suzanne Urcha. Would you be able to connect me with her?
For who?
I'm trying to reach Joan Severance.
We don't currently represent Joan. The number you dialed is not in service.
We don't currently. Well, did you motherfuckers? Fuck.
I'm trying to reach Michael Cutlip.
This is he.
Elena Barmakova,
Who's calling?
I'm working on a story about an address book.
that we believe belonged to Jeffrey Epstein.
Do you mind if I'm recording this call?
I do mind.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I haven't seen or spoken to Jeffrey since the late 90s.
For them to say, yes, I knew him in the 90s, gives credence to the idea that the book is real.
It's not the
I knew him in the 90s, so you knew him. Huh.
case that everybody who was in his address book was an enabler of Jeffrey Epstein. It's more adding to the body of knowledge to keep chipping away at the mystery.
She was not interested in speaking.
These are some of the prominent names we reached out to. None of them had ever been publicly associated with Epstein before.
Suzanne Urcha, Melania Trump's best friend. She later married Woody Johnson, who now owns the New York Jets.
Carl Icahn, special advisor to Donald Trump during his presidency.
Christina Grieven, the wife of Christopher Cuomo.
Jill Harth accused Donald Trump of sexual assault.
Stephen Ratner led Barack Obama's efforts to resuscitate Detroit.
Marty Peretz, longtime mentor to former Vice President Al Gore. Les Gelb was a legendary New York Times columnist. Sandy Warner was the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan until 2000.
Oh, JP Morgan. Buddy's got a long history there. Let's go
Former
back.
Vice President Al Gore. Les Gelb was a legendary New York Times columnist. Sandy Warner was the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan until
We know all about that JP Morgan bullshit.
2000. Billionaire John Katzimatidis, who told us that he offered Epstein a ride and Epstein sent him a 3-foot bottle of champagne.
3 foot? That's a fucking toddler. I think he's trying to tell us something here.
And thinks. And this just goes to show that in the 1990s, he was sort of cultivating a much larger orbit that we can see evidence later on.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
We also engaged the services of a forensic examiner who's familiar with authenticating documents.
I was cautious because I didn't want to cross over into an area that the FBI was investigating. My name is Dennis Ryan, and I'm a forensic document examiner. I'm confident that the book is probably circa 1995 to 2000. One of the factors was the Gestetner imprint that's on the Velo bind. Their organization was certainly out of production by 1998 to 2000. It would be very difficult to make up a book with that imprint. The most important thing is the change in the area code.
So here's Donald Trump's entry in the 1990s address book. You can see that his Palm Beach phone numbers feature a 407 area code. Now now, if we look at Trump's entry in the address book from the early 2000s, you can see that he has the same phone numbers listed for Palm Beach, but with a different area code, 561, and that area code was introduced in 1996. Jeffrey Epstein is still such a mystery. Over a year after he's died.
Accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
Jeffrey Epstein's attorneys questioning whether his death was a suicide.
I think my biggest takeaway is that Epstein had an extremely large sphere of influence, and we're not even sure about the true extent of it.
I think this book elaborates on that in a different era, a different time, and with some different people that we didn't know were a part of that circle that eventually became a part of the reason that Jeffrey Epstein could get away with raping and abusing women and girls. And I think it's important to keep in mind how power is able to avoid accountability. And the more we can remember what Epstein's actions represent, the more we can prevent people from escaping accountability now and in the future.
What a weird turn of events, how serendipitous the whole thing has played out. Unbelievable. I just remember having that thought, should I keep this? If it was a heavy something or other, I probably would have tossed it.
I think it's an interesting story, you know. One book with the FBI, one book on the farm. It's fascinating.
So to reach out to each person mentioned by name in the videos. 14 people spoke on the record and confirmed that they met Epstein in the 1990s, including Jill Hart, Marty Perez, and insiders reporting did not show any connection between the people listed in the Epstein address book and his crimes. For now. Wait, what? Any between the people listed in the Epstein address book and his crimes? Wasn't Trump and like other people in that book? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Oh, that's crazy though. For that book to still be around and just dropped, apparently, I don't know. That sounds a little like what? But yeah.